Tomato, call me model, welcome back to another video. So before I got into 3D printing, like many of you, I watched other creators create some really cool things with 3D printing. And as cool as those things were, I wasn't totally sold, but I was intrigued. And when you're intrigued, the algorithm knows. Suddenly I'm seeing 3D printed content everywhere. And that's when I realized the 3D printing community, it's massive and insanely creative. I stumbled across a creator named Jonathan. He built something called the multiboard. It's basically a modular wall grid that you can mount anything to. Think the IKEA pegboards on steroids. Then I found another creator that made multiboard attachments specifically for a cable management system. And that's when I was sold. Because what do you mean I can 3D print an entire cable management system at home and have everything exactly how I want it? Because look, everything around my studio for the most part has its own space and it's neatly organized. My cable management system, however, let's be honest, it's fugly. And anytime I film my desk setup, I always have to mess around with the camera angles to avoid showing the underside. In true model fashion, since I'm already upgrading my desk, I figured I might as well change the tabletop too. Because my current one, it's a little too light, it feels a little hollow. And after having a heavier, sturdier top on my last build, I just missed that solid feel. So I picked up a butcher block from Home Depot. It's a bit narrower, which brings the monitors closer. It's also wider, which gives me more room to spread things out. Most importantly though, it's thin. Anyway, much like this intro, I've dragged this project on long enough. So welcome to my home office build, episode 3. Let's get right into it. First things first, I hopped onto the multiboard.io simulator to plan out the exact parts that I need. Then I headed to Underwear's site for the cable management pieces, then started printing. Then after almost 80 hours of printing and a few failed prints, I finally had everything that I needed. So it was time to tear it all down. With everything apart now, weirdly enough, this is where all the fun begins. Laying everything out, visualizing where everything goes, and then it hit me. Considering that my new desk is heavier and wider than my older desk, I needed to add some supports to stiffen it up. The only problem is, I only thought about that after I had taken everything apart and as I was installing the new legs. I know, your boy had a moment, but when I tell you I lucked out, I found this underdesk cable frame from IKEA, brand new, in the box for $25. And it was literally a block away. And my luck didn't end there. The multi-board grid I'd already printed fit perfectly within the frame. And I'd already given the tabletop to a friend of mine. And since I only needed the frame, they were able to make use of the legs as well. So it was a win-win. Once I screwed in everything to the tabletop, it was time to satisfy every bit of my OCD cravings with this cable management system. For the top side of the desk, I'm keeping the same minimal layout, just the essentials without any clutter. Powering everything up is my MacBook Pro, and everything's connected through 2 ports. One port runs the hub that has my keyboard, speakers, loop deck, and my main monitor, while the other goes directly to my vertical monitor. And they're all hidden behind the monitors, giving me free access to one SD card slot and an extra port for whatever I momentarily need. So considering the amount of wires that'll be connected to the hub, it was one of the first things I had mounted. And I didn't want to add any thickness, so I used a flat multiboard attachment along with this easy peel double-sided tape. For the heavier items, like the power supplies for the monitors, I use these large item holders. And for the cables themselves, I went on 2 routes. I used these wire channels for the shorter cables, which made everything look minimal and super clean. As for the long ones, I wrapped them around these hook attachments, then zip tied everything to the grid. Even the power bar, I went with those with the side plugins so that nothing sticks out from the bottom. I zip tied that to the grid too, only because I hadn't printed that flat attachment, and honestly at that point I was done with printing. And we're done! And I absolutely love how it came out. When you look from underneath, it looks chaotic. So many wires going in and out, around loops, but it's organized chaos. And we love some organized chaos. It's predictable. And most importantly, when I bring my desk down to a working height, you can barely see a thing. It's minimal, clean, with everything tucked away. Only the power supplies peek out, but barely. I might 3D print the flat mounts for those later, but that's a future me problem. Right now, the before and after is like night and day. My OCD is incredibly satisfied. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you were to do things differently, or if you want to see something else in my next build. If you've enjoyed this, if you've learned anything from it, consider giving this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, consider subscribing. And until then, look after one another, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.